All the financial advice out there loves to throw around these huge, intimidating numbers. Six figures, $1 million, you name it. But what if I told you that the first real milestone, the one that truly changes the entire game, is way, way more achievable? There's a specific number that completely rewires your relationship with money, and when you hit it... So, what is that magic number? It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. No, not at all. It's about crossing this invisible line, a threshold that separates people who consistently build wealth from those who are stuck, just spinning their wheels paycheck to paycheck. And the crazy part, most people don't even know this threshold exists. The figure that marks this huge fundamental shift, well, it's probably a lot smaller than you're imagining right now. This is the point where the entire game of money completely flips on its head. Okay, let's get right into it. That number is $20,000. Now, this isn't just some random amount I pulled out of a hat. It represents the first major turning point. It's the moment you finally break free from what I call financial gravity, and your money truly starts to work for you. Hitting this milestone is about so much more than just the number in your bank account. Because let's be honest, before you hit this mark, building any kind of savings, it just feels like an impossible, grueling fight, doesn't it? It's this constant struggle where every single step forward feels like it takes a monumental effort. And this analogy just hits the nail on the head. Every dollar you manage to save before you have a real foundation feels exactly like pushing that heavy boulder uphill. You're straining, you're sweating, and for all that work, you're making very little visible progress. Everything before this point feels like you're fighting against gravity itself. Psychologically, you're operating in what's called survival mode. When you're in this state, your brain literally can't focus on growth or opportunity. It's like trying to plan your dream vacation while your house is on fire. It's impossible. Your entire mental bandwidth is just consumed by immediate threats and short-term survival. But once you cross that $20,000 threshold, the real magic starts to happen. And it happens right up here, inside your brain. The difference isn't just mathematical. It is profoundly psychological. And this slide really illustrates that mental shift perfectly. You stop asking, how do I just survive until my next paycheck? And you start asking a totally different question. How can I grow this? You shift from being reactive, constantly putting out financial fires, to being proactive, to intentionally building your future. And look, this isn't just some vague feeling. This is backed by hard data. Research from Vanguard actually shows that having just $2,000 in savings boosts your financial well-being by 21%. That's huge. Now, pushing that to around $20,000, which is about 3 to 6 months of expenses, adds another 13% boost. That buffer creates the breathing room your brain needs to finally start thinking strategically. Okay, so once that mental shift happens, it unlocks a powerful change in the math. This is where your money stops being this passive tool just for survival and becomes an active, powerful engine for growth. And this just brilliantly illustrates the power of compounding. So let's say you're saving $1,000 a month. That first $20,000, it takes about 19 months. The next one takes only 17 months. And the one after that, just 15. Why? Because your original money is now working for you, generating its own returns. It's a snowball effect. And get this, by the time you have a $400,000 balance, you generate that same 20 grand in just 5 months. The effort is the same, but the results accelerate like crazy. It all comes down to the power of scale. Look, a 10% return on $2,000 is $200. That's nice, but it's not life-changing, right? But that same 10% return on $20,000, that's $2,000. Now we're talking about money that can actually move the needle. The strategy is exactly the same. The only difference is scale. And that scale is what transforms these small wins into real, meaningful financial progress. This financial foundation, it does more than just grow your bank account. It unlocks a superpower in the real world. The power of having options and the ability to see and seize opportunities that were totally invisible to you before. This cushion gives you something called walking away money, and it is a game changer. It means you could quit your job tomorrow and have months to find something better. You are no longer trapped. This one thing fundamentally changes your relationship with work and your entire career. And that confidence translates directly into career leverage. You're now negotiating from a position of strength, not desperation. You can finally ask for the raise you actually deserve, because the worst they can say is no, and you'll be fine. Just having that safety net makes you more confident, more assertive, which ironically often leads to better opportunities and more money. It's an amazing positive feedback loop. You also stop obsessing over whether to buy the name brand cereal or spend $5 on a coffee. You realize those little micro decisions are largely irrelevant. Instead, your mental energy is freed up to focus on the big wins, optimizing your housing, maximizing your income, and making sure your investment strategy is rock solid. But here we are. This is the critical juncture. This is the exact point where so many people hit this milestone and then make a fatal mistake. They treat this hard-earned money as a reward to be spent. They decide they deserve that new car or that expensive vacation. But that $20,000 isn't a prize for good behavior. It's the foundation of your entire financial future. Yeah, that fancy car payment might give you a temporary feeling of wealth, but in reality, it's a wealth-destroying decision that will keep you from ever being truly free. You have to understand opportunity cost. That $30,000 car isn't just costing you $30,000. It's costing you the $200,000 it could have become in your investment account over 20 years. When you see it like that, driving a reliable used car doesn't feel like a sacrifice anymore. It feels like a brilliant strategic choice to fund your future freedom. And this is the ultimate mindset shift. You stop asking the old question, can I afford the monthly payment? And you start asking the right question. What is this purchase really costing me in future opportunity and future freedom? It's not about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional. So, no, $20,000 won't make you rich overnight. But what it will do is create the tectonic shift between just surviving and actually thriving. It's the difference between reacting to life and actively designing it. The foundation you build today is what your future self is counting on. So the only question left is, are you ready to be the architect?